Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Bound in a Bookmark. I'm Jaleesa. Today's video is a fun one. It's not bookish, but it is BUJO-ish. And if you want to see my March flip through, stick around. So some of you already know this, but I do have a reading BUJO. This is a bit different. This BUJO will primarily be used just for like everyday things outside of my reading life, which I do have one. I wanted to first show you all some of the materials that I used for my BUJO. I will link all of it below as well so you can find it there too. Let's start off first with the kind of BUJO that I have. I have my first Archer and Olive BUJO. I forgot the name of this one, but yeah, so it's very simple. It does have the white, brown, and black pages. So yeah, for most of my journal, I did put a lot of like white as an accent. And when I do that, I use my Jelly Roll pen, and this is the brand that I used. And again, I will have this link in my description box below. As far as coloring is concerned, I use two different options. I use either my Crayola Super Tip, which looks like this. So it has a nice tip on the end. And then of course, I also have my Papermate Flare pens. Now I will say, if you are using a regular journal, these will probably bleed through. However, in a bullet journal like this one, like my Archer, all of the pages are so thick that it doesn't bleed through. The last thing that I use are micro tip pens. And this is what I use majority of the time to, well, this is one size. They come in different sizes, which are on the front here. This is how most of them look. So they have various sizes, and these are great for writing in bullet journals. And you will see how I use all these materials in my flip through, which is coming up right now. Okay everyone, so welcome to my March bullet journal flip through. And right now you're looking at the front of my Archer and Olive journal, and let's go ahead and open her up. So as you can see, the very first page is honestly very plain. It's just the title page. I honestly just put my name here and that's it. I will say, however, I am really disappointed in myself because I wrote my name so off-centered and I have no clue how that actually happened, but it happened, so it's fine. It's not a big deal. I just have a blank page here for no reason at all. I know a lot of people use the first two pages to do like their little measurement with the little dots and lines thing. I have no idea what it's called. I don't do that. I don't make that. I have no clue how to use them. And I don't need to use them, I don't feel like, anyway. I just kind of gauge with my eye what I think looks best, and that is what I do. So on to the next page. So here we just have my 2021 year at a glance page. It's just so I can have a visualization of what days fall on what days of the week. And that's honestly just for me as a personal thing. I like to just know what day it is and what day of the week that date falls on. I have a nice little inspirational quote at the bottom, of course. This is the beginning of anything you want. So it's just a thing, you know, to kind of keep you motivated throughout the year when you look at that page. And it's a nice quote. I do like it. So as all of you may know, or most of you may know, I am a booktuber, and that means that I read books and review them. I know this is a lifestyle BUJO, but honestly, part of my life does include reading. However, I do have a life outside of reading, which is what most of this journal is for, but I did want to still make a spread where I write down all the books that I read throughout the year. The only downside to this spread that I have is the fact that I kind of double drew, like I colored twice over here versus once over here. I much prefer this very smooth layout, but it's fine. You learn as you go, so now I know for next time. But it's simple, you know, the whole journal is simple, so I like it. So this next page is very, very clean, and I love that. This page is simply my YouTube video brain dump page. So I wanted to make it very on theme. I did make indeed a YouTube channel type of screen here. And this spread is simply a place for me to jot down really quickly when I have an idea for a YouTube video, put it right here really fast so I don't forget. I have a tendency to think of video ideas and like I'll tell my friends or my family and then I'll ask them what it was and they don't remember because I don't remember. And then I get upset with myself. So just make a spread for that exactly. So when I have an idea, if my journal is readily available, I will put it on this page. So as you can see, this is the beginning of my March spread. I kept everything very simple. This March spread was going to be retro themed. You'll see throughout this video that I didn't stick with that. I tried my best, but I have a hard time staying with themes, and I just kind of go with what I want, with what I feel like looks best, and that's perfectly fine if you're like that too. So here, as you can see, I have a calendar, very simple, just a place to quickly put down some of the important dates that I already know in advance for March. I only knew of 3, so I only included 3. Just the day my classes start, and then of course the weekend of our 24-hour readathon that me, Mel, Christine, and Kristen all host at the end of every month. So these next 2 pages are kind of more like a mental health page, or if you want to call it that, or just like a mental check-in page. So this first one is a March mood spread. I love the idea of logging how you feel on a day-to-day basis. It is very hard to keep up with, I won't even lie to you. Today is actually the 11th. As you can see, I have missed 4 days already. So I need to fill that in today and go back and fill in for the other days. But I think this is important. If you're able to really stick with it, you can find patterns in how your days go and how your weeks and your months go. And maybe you can figure out if there's something that's happening on a regular basis that's causing you to either have a great month or a not so great month, or just an okay one. I think it's important that we look into our own selves and figure out what's going on with us so that we can become better versions of ourselves. At least just identify any areas that, you know, are great or are not so great. This next page is just my how I'm feeling March spread, like dump it page. I love dump pages because I feel like they give you freedom to just be creative or not. I don't plan on being that creative on this side. I'm just going to write down some of the things that I am feeling throughout the month. I've already wrote down twice. I put focused, and then I put a little blurb, and then I put self and some things I want to focus on with myself. In personal bullet journals, I think that focusing on the self is very important, and I've been doing a lot of that lately, so I made sure to put these 2 pages in my journal. So this next spread is one of my favorite spreads because it's so cute. At least this section right here is. I don't really like this side too much, but it's there, so just ignore it or don't. It's up to you, but this is just a weekly spread. I did go ahead and start on the 7th because when I began my journal, it was the first week of March was already gone, so I just started with the 7th, but this is very simple, self-explanatory. It's just second week of March for me, so that's all that is. So this next spread is the 3rd week of March. I put some dates I already knew about in here and some important things. Right now my life is pretty simple. I don't have a lot going on, so I'm going to probably do away with the weekly spreads until I feel like I have more to add. I don't want to waste pages in my journals ever, so I think for April I'm going to just do one or 2 spreads for the month entirely instead of doing a weekly spread like this, because again, I just don't have much going on right now, so I don't want to waste space and waste paper. I do like the spread a lot though. I feel like these colors are really calming, they're very pretty, so I do like this one a lot. So this next spread I kind of just did on a whim. I had no intentions of making this like a tree theme halfway through my March spread, but here we are. Again, as you can see, it's very empty. This is just a flip through. It's only the 11th of March, so who knows, some things may pop up here and there where I'll have to add them here, but I don't know if I'll ever fill these in, which I don't like that, but you know, we'll see. But you definitely learn as you go when it comes to bullet journals, so you learn what works for you. I don't think that weekly spreads work for me. I think that I am more of a daily spread kind of person, just kind of journal every day as I go. Another spread, the 4th week and last week of March. Very simple. I try to stick with simple spreads this time around because I don't need a whole lot going on in my journal. I just need a place to write out what I need, what's important, my to-do list, and all of those kind of thoughts. Now, this spread I did purposely create because I feel like right now with the pandemic, and I'm still someone who stays home, I don't really go out and do things like that, so I'm pretty much still in quarantine. I feel like being at home has made me spend a lot of time in certain areas of my life, so I'm trying to figure that out exactly. So I have a spot for my phone. I have apps like Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and then I have sleep. I have a section for schoolwork, and then a section for reading, editing, and filming, and then I will leave whatever else to like leisure stuff later. But I do have on my phone the ability to figure out how much sleep I'm getting every day, how much I'm on my Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, how much time I spend on my phone in general. So I will be using my phone to help me kind of fill in these spots here. In terms of reading, editing, and filming, that will be easy for me to do because, well, I know how long my videos are when I edit them and when I'm finished, so I do know that. And I know how much I'm reading and how long, so I will be logging that at the end of the month to see how much it changes from next month, and I'll probably gauge it for the next 2 months to see what needs to be changed. And my quote here says, "Time is what we want most, but what we use worst." And that is definitely a quote for me specifically because I can be very bad with my time. Now, this spread is my baby. I say that because this is my favorite spread that I have made in any journal that I've created up to this point. I did this spread today actually. I didn't even know I was going to be doing it, but then I got the idea and then I did some searching and I love it. So I wasn't going to do a journal spread. I feel like because this is a BUJO and not a regular journal, I shouldn't add a spread like this, but then I was like, it's my book, I can do what I want with it. And this is not going to be like a place where I write heavy thoughts or lengthy ones. This is just a quick place to write down anything that I want pertaining to that day or that time during March. So I have on the side, I wrote gratitude and thoughts, and that's kind of what this section is for mainly, just to write down some thoughts that I have throughout the month, anything that I'm grateful for. I feel like now more than ever, it's important to kind of reflect and then also just reflect on what we're grateful for. It's really easy to not do that. It's easy to just go throughout life not being grateful for much, but I want to make sure I'm always giving myself the ability to be grateful for things and to make it very known and very direct. So that's what this spread is for, and I'm excited to fill this out already. I can't wait. I'm so glad with how it turned out. I love it, and that is actually the last spread that I have, as you can see. So now I will go back through just to do a very quick, very brief flip through of the entire thing so that you can get an overview, and then we'll be finished. My March bullet journal flip through. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I had such a fun time making these spreads. I had a fun time recording this video for you. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.